In this lesson, I'd like to introduce you to the canvas element in HTML5. It's pretty advanced and outside the scope of this class, but I wanted to at least introduce it to you because anyone you talk to about HTML5 is most likely going to ask you or talk to you about the canvas element, and you'll have a better idea of what it is. So I'm in my favorite HTML editor, which is Dreamweaver, and I'm in the Chapter 6 folder. There's a start and an end folder, and I've opened the file called Britain Canvas from each one of those. So from the start folder, I've opened the file called BrittonStart.html, and from the end folder, I've opened BrittonCanvasEnd.html. And I've previewed both of them in my browser so I can show you what they look like. So this is the start one, and this is the end one. The only difference is we're going to change the color. Let me explain a little bit about what the canvas tag actually is. It's pretty exciting. So up until now, whenever you wanted to place an image on your page, any kind of a graphic, you needed to use the image tag. So this graphic at the top, this inside of the bridge, this one down here, and this photo of me are all placed with the image tag. You simply indicate where you want it to go, and wherever you put it in your code, that's where the image shows up. What's happening now with the canvas element, it's actually a container that holds another type of graphic. So what we do is we use the canvas element to make a container and put it where we want it, and then we add a script, and the script is what does all the work. So in this particular instance, these two items were actually being drawn in the browser via this script that we've added. So again, we're not going to go in and actually write any code for this. We're just going to simply go in and change the colors, but I wanted to show you what's available. For the future, examples of how this could be used, having something that draws right in the browser, you might have a map. So we may have a map of the covered bridge area, and we may want to draw our route over top of it. So by having that graphic in place, that image, we can then go in our browser, draw a route over top of it by plotting points. So it's very exciting for the future. This is just a simple little example of it. Let's get back to our HTML editor, and let's go in and change the color. So the first thing I want to show you is down in the code, and I'm going to do a search here and find canvas. So here's the actual element that we've added, the canvas element right here. It's got an attribute of ID, and then the value is canvas. We named our element, and it has some text in here. So right inside the element, it says your browser does not support Canvas. Please update your browser to the latest version. So if you happen to be using an older version of any of the 5 major browsers that support this element, you would get this information that pops up if you were not able to view it. So the element called canvas goes down in the body section, and then up in our head section of our document where all the scripts are located. In line 14, you'll see that I have the 2 rectangles in here. So one is called RGB and one is called RGBA. And I'm going to take you back to the browser to show you. This one on the top left is RGB. The one on the bottom right is RGBA. So the way they appear in our start document, they're these colors. And we're going to change the colors to look like this. So back to Dreamweaver, or whatever HTML editor you're using. And I'm in the start file, and I'm going down where it says RGB, and these are the numbers we want to change. So they're separated by commas. So this is red, this is green, and this is blue. So a red value of 255, a green value of 20, and a blue value of 147 create that color, and we want to change it to a different shade. So I'm just going to go in here and select all of these numbers inside those parentheses, and I'm going to change it to 205, 175, 149. And then I'm going down to the next rectangle, which is called RGBA, selecting the numbers inside those parentheses, and notice there are 4 numbers. So we have our RGB. This last number we're going to leave alone. This stands for transparency. So again, in order to be able to see both of these items and have one be transparent over top of the other, this item on top has a transparency setting. So for this particular one, RGBA, we're just going to change the first 3 numbers. So we're going to change it to 107, 142, and 35, and we're leaving the 0.5 in there to indicate transparency. So let's save our file. Let's go out and preview it in our browser. And there it is. We've changed the colors. So again, this is the canvas element, a little advanced for this class, but I wanted to at least show it to you and talk to you about what it can do in the future. And we've gone in and we've simply changed the colors by adjusting the RGB breakdowns inside the script.